Good Monday morning. Thanks so much for sticking with us here on ARC Rochester. We're continuing to highlight some of the many performances and events happening at this year's Rochester Fringe Festival.
Yeah, and there are so many to look forward to. Our next guest is all about the magic of live music, specifically in Rochester's only old-growth forest.
Forest Music will feature a series of performances along the trails of Washington Grove. Joining us with more is the co-founder and president of Friends of Washington Grove, Peter Debes, and volunteer coordinator Kathryn Kelly. Thank you both so much for waking up bright and early. We appreciate it.
Hi, thanks for having us.
And first and foremost, what a gorgeous backdrop you have right now and for the show. Where did the idea come from?
Yeah, so I was actually up at the Wild Center at Tupper Lake, and they have a beautiful installation there. It's all wired with speakers and motion sensors, but they play music along the trail. And, you know, having been volunteering with the Grove for a number of years, I thought that it would be wonderful to have live musicians here for Fringe.
I think that live music makes everything better, and I think it really just makes people smile. Add in the nature, and it seems like a winning combo there. Explain to us what people will experience when they stop by.
So we're in this old growth forest that has trees that are 200 to 300 years old. And we're going to have musicians placed in different spots along the grove to encourage visitors to walk along the trails and kind of discover where the musicians will be playing. And we have, they're all acoustic stringed instruments. We have a cellist. Someone's going to be playing the nyckelharpa, which is a traditional Swedish instrument, and a pipa, which is a traditional Chinese instrument.
And what do you hope individuals, patrons who come and see this installation walk away with?
I would say, if you're thinking about for me, what does Fringe really mean? And we mean, wow, it's something that's kind of beyond a normal experience that you couldn't get anywhere else. And so first, to have a forest where the trees in it have never been cut since they've been here, and 300 years old. So close to the center of a city that most people could walk to it to get a view of.
Yeah, I mean, it is absolutely beautiful there. Tell us a little bit about the music that people will hear.
Yeah, so we have it's mostly going to be ambient music that the instrumentalists will be playing. So it'll kind of blend with the chirps of the birds and the chipmunks and just like the ambient, kind of blending with the ambient sounds of the forest.
I mean, it's really such a brilliant idea. And I can only imagine what the music will sound like with that sound of nature as the backdrop, and the view of nature as the backdrop. I really think it's going to be something spectacular.
We certainly hope so. And thinking of all the ways in which we work through our lives with so little connection to something completely natural like this is an amazing opportunity.
Well, and you know, we were discussing this a little bit before this interview, and I made the comparison of something like this as to walking in nature with your headphones on. But then, you know, listening to the two of you speak, and you mention, you know, you hear the birds chirping. So it's nothing like that, because you're getting both of them in real time, not one or the other.
Yeah, if anything, it enhances it.
Yeah, I bet it does. What have other people said in the past when they've experienced this?
Well, this is the first time we're doing this event. But we lead, you know, guided walks in the Grove frequently, and people are always just amazed at the ecosystem that we have here. There's definitely some like unique plants that you don't see, and there's lots of birds that will migrate through here. So people are just in awe of the huge trees and just this, you know, it's a relatively small forest, but you really feel like you're out of the city.
Yeah, and I think that that will be, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
There's an aspect to it that most people wouldn't even really think about or know, which is that we now know from various research that trees are actually beings. And when we say a being, that means you think of a living organism that has sensation of its environment and responds to it. And we know that trees do that. We know that certain sounds or activities by humans actually cause a response in the trees themselves. So that's another, I think, if people hear that and now start thinking about it and come into this woods and be surrounded by beings that they never really thought of as beings is an amazing experience.
I bet it is.
Yeah.
And listen, it sounds like a truly awesome, and I mean awesome experience. It really does. Thank you both so much for taking time out of your morning to speak with us. We wish you nothing but the best at the Rochester Fringe Festival. Thank you again.